All right, so this video that we're going to watch was actually sent in to the Discord, to the reaction request. It was actually sent in by the creator of the video. So it's right here, and it's from Amenity, I believe is how you say this name. But it says, "Hey John, I'm a Twitch streamer / YouTuber who has been on quite the weight loss journey. You have been such a powerful and positive impact on me, and I honestly cannot thank you enough. Thank you. In my video, I tried to focus on the positive impacts that fitness YouTubers have on people, as I think negativity nowadays is so prevalent and draining. Thanks for your time, and thanks again for the inspiration." And so the name of the video is "From 300 Pounds to Six-Pack Abs Body Transformation, Greg Doucette Diet." So again, I haven't seen this video. I watched like the first 30 seconds, but I'm kind of curious to see what he says. I have absolutely no idea what he says in the video. So let's watch it together.
This is the story on how I went from this to this.
That's insane, by the way. Like, look at that. This dude is shredded. Good work, dude.
I'll tell the entire thing, the good, the bad, the amazing, the terrible. The whole journey is gonna unfold here. Now, I don't want to bore you guys with like a long backstory because let's be honest, who really freaking cares, right? But
I do. So this is up to what I watched. I love hearing the backstory of how someone got to where they were. I think maybe I'm weird. I probably am weird, but that stuff is so interesting to me because I love understanding, okay, how did you get to your biggest size? And some people it's just as simple as I was eating too much, but for a lot of people there's a lot of stuff that happened in the past, and I do think that stuff is interesting to understand because then you can understand what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing now. But I understand why he wouldn't want to kind of tell that whole story, but that stuff is super interesting to me.
long story short, I have been, big my entire life. Ever since I can remember, throughout high school, throughout college, I was always...
The aspect ratio is on his end. I don't know what that's about, but yeah.
Pretty overweight, maybe in the obese category, but I really got super big and ballooned up after I finished college and I got a desk job, my first desk job. This is when things definitely went downhill for me.
So this is the classic, okay, I was kind of big in high school. Maybe he played sports or something, I don't know. But like so many people, kind of big in high school, but maybe they played sports, they were kind of active. They get out of high school and then bam, the weight comes on. Like for me, I was the biggest dude at my high school, but after high school, I was even less active and the weight came on even faster. So for me, it was like accelerated.
Mentally, I wasn't doing the best. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was probably on that route. And I just have to be real with you guys. My diet was absolutely horrible. I don't know if it counts as like binge eating disorder or not, but I wouldn't eat anything for breakfast. I wouldn't eat anything for lunch. For dinner on my way back from work, I would stop at the grocery store. Every single night, I would stop at the grocery store. And I would buy frozen pizzas. I would buy entire packages of Oreos or whatever sugary snack. I would drink Mountain Dews and Powerades, any kind of sugary drink. And
this is such a classic, like, I don't know. This is in my mind, such a classic dude move. You never plan out your food. You never go shopping. You just shop when you're hungry. And that is the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is shop when you're super hungry, especially like he said, if he's not eating anything until he's at the store buying the food, oh, you're setting yourself up for failure there. Thanks for ordering the shirt. I appreciate it.
Every single night, I would go home carrying all this stuff and I would eat it. Every single night, I would eat everything that I bought. I could very easily put away 5,000 plus calories in one sitting. And I'm not saying this as like, oh, look how much I can eat. Like, how, I'm not saying this as like, I'm proud. Like, this is a really embarrassing thing for me to tell you guys. To be able to eat an entire frozen pizza, an entire family package of Oreos, an entire bag of chips, like back to back to back. There's nothing good about that at all.
And the thing about that is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, is like when you look back on it, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. But with these things that he's talking about, when it's like the whole pizza or this thing, or you like ate a whole pack of Oreos or Doritos or whatever, like now you look back and you're like, I could never do that. But once you start doing it and it becomes regular, there's no thought in your head of, oh, this is probably not the best thing for me to do. Like when I would buy double gulps from 7-Eleven, which is basically a 2 liter of soda, I never thought anything about, oh my gosh, this is, 1,000 calories just in soda right here. I just didn't think about it. I would just ate whatever I wanted, drank whatever I wanted. It just didn't matter to me.
I was seriously addicted to food. At my heaviest weight, I was about 300 pounds. I remember one day I'd come back from work and my apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I walked up 1 flight of stairs to get to my apartment. And I noticed that when I got to the top of 1 flight of stairs, I was breathing like really heavily. And holy cow, guys, like if you're 23 years old and you're breathing heavily walking up 1 flight of stairs, that reality like hits you like a freaking wall, man.
So I'm not gonna say that he's lying, but what I will say is that it's still hard to climb upstairs for me, man. Like that never gets super easy, man. It's still tough. But I understand where he's coming from on that one.
It hits you like a freaking wall. And at that point, I knew that ahead of me in my life, I had 2 paths. The one path was gonna be plagued with weight-related illness. I was gonna feel horrible for a majority of my life. And the other path was getting healthy, learning how to eat right, and living my life to the fullest. So I knew I had to do something, but the problem was I had no nutritional knowledge. Like, keep in mind, my main food group before this was frozen pizza and freaking Oreos, right?
So this pretty much, from what I'm hearing right now, this sounds really similar to how I was when I was at my biggest. Like, I just ate whatever I wanted. I literally just didn't think about it. And then when I was like, okay, now I need to lose weight, I was like, I do not know where to start. Like, I know a lot of you guys have tried to lose weight a lot of times in the past, and so you have like a general kind of knowledge about nutrition and stuff. For me, I literally had no idea what to do. No idea. Like, I just knew I can't drink soda anymore. I should probably stop eating fast food, and I should probably stop eating junk food. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll start from there, and then I'll see where to go.
I had no idea how to eat right. So I went to Google, I would type something like lose weight fast or something, right? Probably something like that, right? And I remember a Google image thing came up and it was a keto diet. I had heard a little bit about keto. I didn't really know what it was, and in this graph or like info pic or whatever you want to call it, it was like eat meat, eggs, cheese, bacon. And I was like, hey, I like all of those things. I'll just eat those things. And I had totally bought the whole idea, carbs are evil, stay away from carbs. When I was on keto, I lost 80 pounds in 120 days. Now, wow. When you hear someone say that they lost 80 pounds in 120 days, your first thought may be like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like, that's crazy.
No, my first thought when I hear that is like, oh no. Like, I'm going to stay away from the keto thing. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You guys know how I feel about it. I'm going to leave it alone, okay? I'm leaving it alone. Whatever. But when I hear someone that lost 80 pounds in 120 days, the thing that flashes in my head is, okay, that was unsustainable, and most likely they're going to be gaining that weight back. That's what I hear.
I cannot stress this enough. Do not do this, guys. Do not do this. Keep in mind, my nutritional knowledge was
He said don't do it. He said don't do it. Don't do it. No.
0. I didn't know anything about crash dieting, which I was inadvertently doing at the time. I was just like, oh, this is what dieting feels like. It feels like death. So obviously this type of diet is not sustainable. And the only reason that I was able to keep it up for those 120 days was because I'm a stubborn moron. And here is where...
Dude, this is a great video. It's so true, man. Like, you can do these diets, and I'm not trying to lump keto into it because I don't want people to come for me, but I'm just saying, like, unsustainable diets that are really, really restrictive, okay? Hopefully you guys can at least understand me there. You can do them for a season, but eventually, like I've talked about willpower, it runs out. And eventually you are going to get to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you end up falling off the wagon, and a lot of the weight comes back, sadly, for a lot of people.
One of the luckiest moments of my entire life happened. I knew I had to change up my diet somehow to make it more sustainable. I knew that something had to change. So I went to YouTube and I typed in something like healthy recipe for weight loss or something like that, right? And one of the things that popped up was a video from this guy named Greg Doucette. And this guy's channel was just
Dr. Greg coming in,
blowing my mind. This guy was ripped and he was eating French toast and ice cream and all this. These were like previously foods I was like, oh my gosh, you can't eat that. Like, you can't, there's no possible way you can have French toast because it's carbs or something, right? I was like, okay, this guy is doing something right. Like, what is going on here? And so this is when I dove headfirst into the nutritional side of YouTube, and my brain became like a sponge. All of this information that you could possibly learn about nutrition, I wanted to learn everything.
So this is so similar to how it was for me when I first started. Now, the channels that I was watching were obviously different because Greg wasn't making videos back then. But like the amount of knowledge I got just from watching YouTube, it was unbelievable. Like, it completely changed my life. And so that's why making videos now, it is such a, honestly, and I know this might sound cheesy, but it is such an honor to me that I'm able to do this, that I can maybe be a gateway into someone else having the revelation that I had. Like, it's really cool to me. And the fact that I have this community and that I have these videos, that I'm able to help other people that might be in the position that I was in when I started, it's something that I'll never take lightly, and it's something that I will always like really hold to high regard, I guess.
Coach Greg, and I'm here today to talk to you about...
What's up, guys? Sean Nalawani, RealScienceAthletics.com.
You guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much.
Hey, it's me. I'm one of the good guys. See, guys, look it. That's me, all right? Before I had a sick beard. Very nice.
For clicking on today's
Yo everyone, what is going on? Welcome to the video, and today I'm going to be doing a...
In today's video, I'll be taking you through 7 scientific hacks to lose weight.
Hi, Kiana.
Easier.
And when I learned more and more and more about nutrition, then everything else just kind of fell into place.
Oh, look, you guys, we got the creator of the video in the chat. Amenity, what's up, dude? We're watching your video, and I'm reacting to it as I do. All right, here we go. Training for the 1980 Olympics. I like it. Some Quest protein powder. All right. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The reason I keep stopping is because I don't want to get copyright struck. So apologize. That stuff's really good. The sugar-free barbecue sauce? Yep. Also, staple sugar-free Jell-O. Popcorn, of course, the classic. Okay, but for real, I think what we're seeing here, and this is super important, and this is what I think a lot of people miss when they watch Greg's video. If you just watch the surface level of like how over the top he is, people are like, oh, I'm just turned off by him. But if you listen to the actual knowledge and the advice that he gives out, it can be completely like life altering for some people, especially if you come from a place of trying to go on these diets that are incredibly restrictive and that are not sustainable. And you're like, man, I feel like to lose weight, the only thing I can do is these diets that I cannot stick to, versus finding someone else that is showing you, hey, you can eat these foods and you can still lose weight, or you can eat these foods and still be healthy. You can eat these foods and still make progress. That's a light bulb moment for a lot of people. Like, that's a big deal.
Okay, so I don't know what day this video is going to be uploaded, but for me right now, it's mirrored, but today is October 5th. Now, this is a big day for me personally because 100 days ago today, I started a 100 days of clean eating challenge. And I did this for a few reasons. The first reason was it helps me stay on track if I have some kind of goal to work towards. It's really good for me to track my progress over time. I can kind of see the trends and that kind of stuff.
And as you can see, every single day that I did the volume eating Greg Doucette diet, I just wrote another, countdown day on my thing. I like to do little shapes around every fifth number. I'm a kid at heart, I guess. But this is literally what I did. I just kept track every single day. I made sure I was on track. 100 days in a row of following Greg's diet.
Now, when I started 100 days of this dieting, usually at the end of 100 days of dieting, or whatever your goal is, right? At the end of your goal of dieting, the first thing you're like, oh my gosh, I'm done with it. It's finally over.
And that's so true. Like, so for a lot of people, this is what I've said so many times in the past, is like, if you're on like a diet or you're doing some type of diet and you're constantly thinking about, man, I can't wait until I'm done with this diet. I can't wait until I'm doing something that I enjoy, or I'm able to eat the foods that I want. Most likely you're not going to find success with that diet, right? Most likely, if you are now just like, okay, now I'm done with the diet, I can eat whatever I want, most likely it's not going to work out in the long run. And so I'm interested to see what he has to say here.
I can eat whatever I want or whatever. But this has been pretty much the only diet that I've ever been on where I don't feel that way. I've probably eaten French toast 95 out of those 100 days for breakfast. I'm literally heating up my stovetop right now to make more French toast. And I just checked, and I try to keep track at the beginning of my weigh-ins every morning, but I kind of got lazy towards the end. And I lost just about 16 pounds in these 100 days, and I did the math, and that's just over a 500 calorie deficit every single day, which is just about what I was aiming for. I could actually eat a bit more, I guess.
This is so on point, man. Like, one, that's not an excessive amount of weight to lose in 100 days, right? 16 pounds. It's nothing crazy. 500 calorie deficit, that's usually what I recommend to most people. This is... I think it's really interesting that he was able to track this and show this, because I mean, this is what it's all about. Like, it doesn't have to be the hardest thing in the world. Like, you really can make it enjoyable, and enjoyable to a point, right? It's not like it's going to be as enjoyable as if you could eat whatever you wanted and as much as you wanted, but it doesn't have to be constant suffering. Like, it really doesn't have to feel that way.
But keep in mind, this is 16 pounds of weight loss when I'm already lean, right? Or already fairly lean. And people who are familiar with weight loss know that the more lean you get, the harder it becomes, the more grindy it is, if that makes sense. The more effort you have to put into just honing in your diet and making sure everything is on point. So this is supposed to be the hardest part of weight loss. These 100 days was the easiest thing ever. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. On any other diet, 100 days of dieting, by the end of it, you're gonna be this freaking sucks, man. But I just got done with 100 days, and I'm getting, I have a little bit more lean I want to get. So I guess I'll just go another 50 days or something, and then I'll hit my goal, and then I'm not even going to change the diet when I get to the maintenance phase. I'm just going to eat more.
And that's huge right there. What he just said, right? I'm not even going to change the diet when I get to the maintenance phase. I'm just going to eat more. So this is like, for him, he's found something that it's not like he hates it. And so that's so important.
The same food. So instead of eating like 4 pieces of French toast, I'll eat 6. To think that someone who used to be 300 freaking pounds, and now I'm like looking at these numbers and I'm like, I'm gonna have to add in calories soon, like when I reach my maintenance phase. And just to think like, it's gonna actually kind of be a struggle to add in calories.
So the gyms are all closed. I'm stuck here in my little shitty apartment. I borrowed 2 dumbbells from my brother. Old me would have definitely used this as an excuse to like not work out, but not anymore. I'm gonna try harder than last time.
Harder than last time. Let's go. A little bit of push-up action. Very nice. Some shoulder press. Okay. Josh said, did he die and go to heaven? Maybe he did. I don't know. There you go. A little bit of dog walk action, okay. All right, I see you, bro. I see you, bro.
Believe in yourself. You can friggin' do it. Even though Abby doesn't think you can.
Oh, man. It's like Greg is talking from the heavens on this.
I do. I believe in you. I think you can do it. You can lose weight if you want to.
Awesome. Well, that was fun to watch, man. Congratulations on the weight loss. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, and I'm very glad that I was able to be a small part of your journey, man. So super, super cool.